I'm starting the day off right. Got the morning cup of Joe. You ain't Joe. You ain't even Joanne. It works. Yeah, decided to go with some tea this morning, a little iced tea. Still get the caffeine buzz, but maybe less congestion. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what it is, man. We're gonna make it work though. Anyway, I don't know. We don't like change. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Excuse me. Look at this. There we go. That's better. Shout out to my guy Walter Blackman in the building. Salute. What's going on, Walter? Hope you're doing well. Said good morning, Ron, in the panel. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Daniel H. Logan is in the building. Salute. What's good? Hope you're doing well. Said, how about kick the tires on Dwight Howard? At this point, I think the Knicks the fact that they're not doing anything tells me that when they do something, they're going to get themselves a solid backup, possibly somebody who could start. But that tells me that they're not just going to go grab anybody that might be available. They're going to grab somebody specifically if the time is right. They're going to make a move to get somebody in here that they know works for their system. Shout out to my guy Andios NYK in the building. What's happening, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Please go support Andios on his Instagram channel. Look, there's just nothing more I can say about it. I've always said it. It's powerful. It's positive. It's funny. It's entertaining. Great job by Andios. Continue to do it, my brother. Appreciate you. He says, salute, peace, love, blessings to us all. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the show. And I'm sorry, I also forgot, Corey Lee said, peace and salute. Queens is in the building. Queens get the money. 718 boys are here too. There you go. Appreciate you, brother. L says, smash that like button, show support to one of our favorite hosts. Oh, so nice, L. I mean, really appreciate you. Thank you. Shout out to Animal Lex in the building. What's going on, Animal? He says, salute everyone. Ron, do you think the Knicks offense will struggle by not having iHeart next season? I think he made it easier to score a lot of times. I definitely agree with you. You know what? I just want to say that I think that's a really good point. And I think iHeart was doing a little bit more than Knicks fans give him credit for. Corey, what's your thoughts on the Fanatics Fan Fest? If you had been here, would you have gone?
Not enough Giants.
Oh, Eli wasn't enough for you, huh?
I mean, it was Eli, Strahan, plus my man Tuck. You know what I'm saying? He really got robbed out of one of Super Bowl MVPs. I would have been like this.
Let me get my guy Double A in here. Double A.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, there he is.
What's up, fellas?
What's happening,
bro?
brother?
Not much.
I'm in your neck of the woods.
You in my neck of the woods?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm in Clearwater.
Give your thoughts on Jericho, because I don't know, man. Jericho's been working, man. There's more videos of Jericho out here doing some things. Let me see if I can find one, because the last one I saw looked pretty good.
Well, Tom, let him do his thing, though. That's the whole thing, bro.
Is the question, Double A. That is the question. I mean, do you feel like he has the ability to take another step?
We don't know, because we haven't seen. We didn't really get a dose of him last season before he got hurt to really know if he took a step up or what. I mean, I was really happy the season before when he was filling in when Toppin was down and whatever, and I think Julius was down as well. So they had to use him at power forward. I mean, he was averaging 10 boards a game. So I thought maybe over the summer, maybe last year, Jericho was ready to step up, man, because really he has the build he's not really tall, but he's still 6'9", 6'10". He can jump out the gym, and he's strong. He's strong. He got a real solid base. So, with that said, I mean, he can dance with bigger guys, with his base. And I mean, one game that I seen against Atlanta, fellas, when we still had Stickman, Nerlens Noel, and Mitch, Mitch was out. So Noel was starting, and they were using Jericho for backup. And, man, Capella and Collins, they were cooking Nerlens' butt, man. I mean, they were just doing whatever they want. And then they put Jericho in, and he went to work, man. He dismantled them. I mean, he took them apart, and we won the game. So he's a big question mark. But my biggest question mark, I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet, man. I was stunned, really stunned and really disappointed when I heard that Mitch Robinson is not ready to go. And I'm like, fellas, you mean Mitch Robinson is not ready to go? Because, look, if Mitch Robinson is ready to go, I'm in Mitch's camp. I'm backing Mitch up. Yes, he's injury prone, but, I mean, the streak got to break sometime, right? We can't really, hold him to it because the last time he was hurt, somebody hurt him. He didn't just walk out there and, all of a sudden his knees started hurting or whatever. But with this report coming out that he ain't even ready, bro, what are they doing, man? We can't go to war with Precious at center, man. Tom Thibodeau even says it.
I'm gonna say this. Oh, go ahead. Do you think?
No. I just want to say, damn! Shout out to Fritz Alcindor Jr. in the building.
My man.
But hey, what's up, Ron?
What's up, Fritz? Good to see you, my brother.
Always
up on other shows, but the first time on SKF, so appreciate you. Thank you for being
he be popping up on my block.
yeah. Fritz is
now with this other report about Mitchell Robinson not being ready. I can see that in AA, and you got to think the man was snatched out the air by
Hold
on a second. By his surgically repaired ankle that was half hanging on anyway by said player who I will not even acknowledge them. You know what I'm saying? So with that said is, okay, take the time. But when he comes back, I mean, he's fully healthy, and I hope that he's in shape. You know what I'm saying? And prepared to go to war.
But are you ready for Mitchell for Jericho Sims to be our starting center? Because as it is now, we ain't talking about Jericho backing him up. We talking about Jericho starting right now.
It is what it is, bro. I mean, what can we do? We can't. You know what I'm saying? We can't sit around here and cry over spilled milk. You know what I'm saying? It's done.
Right, but the business should have been taken care of in the off season, Corey. This is what I'm talking about.
How do you listen? How do you know it hasn't? You know what I'm saying?
Because right now Jericho Sims is our backup center. That's why. When we traded for Mikal Bridges, who's an outstanding player and is going to bring something to our team, no doubt. Mikal Bridges was something we really didn't need. Yeah, I love him, having him, and yeah, he's great to have on our team, but we really needed a backup center, right? Mm-hmm. So all their focus was Mikal Bridges, fine, but now you got us going into the season without a starting center. See, we were all thinking that Mitchell Robinson was going to be our starting center, so the debate was about who was going to be the backup center, right? And this conversation would have been about is Jericho ready to be the backup? Now that's a hell of a big different question, Ron, than is Jericho ready to start for how many games? Mitch is not going to be ready for the season. And if you're talking about getting it together, because now we got 5 pieces that now need to gel. Bridges, Randall, Brunson, and OG, they got to gel. Now you're going to throw in the guy that's going to be the backup center to start. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, Ron. I mean, what it is what it is. But I just think you should have been ready, bro. And having the roster we got, it don't look like they are.
Yeah, but I mean, I hear what you I hear what you're saying, Double A. But I mean, we can't force the guy to speed up his progress of the injury.
And I'm not putting it on Mitchell Robinson. Get me straight. I'm putting it on the general manager, whoever's putting together this roster. That's who I'm putting it on. No, get me right. I'm behind Mitch. You know that. I'm a Mitchell Robinson fan, and he can only heal when he can only heal. And like I said, Embiid, and I will say that the sucker's name, he did do a sucker deal to Mitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. No, I'm not
I hear
blaming
you.
Mitch
I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that the front office should have had a contingency plan for this situation. This is why we were talking about getting a backup center, because we knew Mitch could possibly get hurt. Even when if he was healthy now, there's a chance he could get hurt in the season. And so, I get it. But I think the Knicks really tried, and I honestly think that the only thing that I could see stopping the Knicks from pulling off a move is the fact that whoever they were trying to deal with wanted more than the Knicks wanted to give up. You know what I mean? Because the Knicks are coming from a level of, not really, but in a way, a level of desperation, right? To another team, like, oh, you guys need a backup center. So, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what was going on, like what these other teams was trying to get from the Knicks. And the other thing is, because the Knicks are in that situation, they might be overvaluing their talent as well. Like, you know, there's certain guys that we obviously know, like that Danny Ainge has on his team that he may not, you know how he puts his value. But then there's other guys that could have been, who knows, you know, from Charlotte, those centers that are decent and they might have some promise, but they're not quite there yet to be giving up, you know, the bag for, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Who knows? Charlotte might have been like, you know, well, we want this back because, you know, we know you need a center and we got two good ones.
Whatever, Randall coming back, our season now depends on Mitchell Robinson.
Well, let me
do you think that's smart?
I don't necessarily, it's not whether I think it's smart or not, Double A. This is what I want to say. If you have a guy in Jericho Sims that's been with this team and hasn't had a chance to step up because of injury, and now they're putting that out there that he hasn't had a chance to work on his craft and work on his game, so we haven't seen him take another step. So we don't really know what we got. Instead of just getting rid of him, we're going to finally give him a shot to see what he can do, right? That's one. Two, you got a guy in Ariel Hukporti that is a professional basketball player in the Australian League, so he's not like a regular rookie. You saw him in the Summer League, even though it's the Summer League, but you think he's got some stuff. If you go out and get somebody marginal, just a body that can play center as a backup, you taking away the opportunity from a guy like Jericho Sims or Hukporti to see what they can do, because who knows, they could be the answer. I'm not saying they will be. I'm saying they could be the answer, right? And the other thing is, you want to build from a point of strength, not from a point of weakness. If the point is to get a backup to go along with Mitch, but if Mitch ain't good, then you got nothing to build off of, right? You bring in somebody, you may not be able to bring in an A1 starter. You might have to bring in a backup. And so now you got a backup with a bunch of other unproven guys. At least you have Mitch with a bunch of unproven guys. Now you could be in a situation. So you want to build these guys up, at least to see what you got first, you know, while you're determining how much you're going to have to give up. The Knicks may look at Jericho Sims. They may look at Hukporti and say, nah, we gave him a little while. These guys ain't the answer. At least now we know. We got to up the ante. All right, you guys want this as well? We'll throw it in, because now we know. All right, we don't got the answer here. These guys just are not going to do it. I think the Knicks are just coming from a position that they got to try and see what they got first before making that move. The Mitch news is a little disconcerting. I agree with you. I don't think that the Knicks are happy about the fact that his healing is taking longer than expected. He's behind schedule, I guess, a little bit, but anything can happen. You know, in the next month or so, he could ramp up and the schedule could change. Like, he could be ready for opening day. We don't know. But I hear what you're coming from, Double A. I definitely think that you're right that we're not in the greatest position from the center standpoint right now. Somebody told me this yesterday. I was arguing with a fan who's not a Knicks fan. He's a basketball fan, but he don't like the Knicks. He was like, yeah, I don't want to hear about that regular season. Regular season don't mean nothing. I'm like, okay, well, maybe you're right. Or why shouldn't that be the same way for the Knicks? Knicks don't have to actually have that center right now. Now, when the trade deadline happens, like going forward to make sure you're ready for the playoffs, now you got to have the guy. But you don't got to have the guy right now. The Knicks can win without that guy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The Knicks have a good enough team. Even with they could play small ball and still have a winning record going into the trade deadline. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. We do need to address that, but we don't have to do it right away. It just has to happen, before or on the trade deadline so we can get somebody in here. So that's why I'm saying just don't panic. We can still do it. Nice in the building. What up, my guy?
Hey,
How's everybody
Appreciate
doing?
you, bro? Yeah, it's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you out there in them streets.
Oh yeah, it's hot over here, player. Man,
where you at, Nice?
Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, I
Can't even take
mean,
this weather.
with that high altitude. Woo, damn.
Oh yeah, it's like you be feeling like the sun is right there.
Oh, damn. Let me bring Fritz back up in here. Fritz.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Now we see him.
There you go. There he goes. And then let me get my guy. Powers in the building.
What's up,
Salute, my guy.
What's going on, man? So let me just play this Jericho thing real quick, and then we can get back into this Mitch talk, because it looks like we got a little bit of a center issue. All right. You might have seen this, him working. I think I could put sound on this. Actually, you know what? Let me take that sound off. The junk could be copyrighted. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, he look that looks pretty good. I mean, we haven't had a big man looking like that handle, like not Mitch. I mean, Mitch does do some stuff, but you know what I mean. Like, I think Jericho just looks comfortable. Like it don't look too foreign for him. Now, will he be able to do this in a game with real defense? Don't know. You know, guys freeze up, especially ones that aren't used to doing this stuff. We don't know. But I like the fact that he's working, and we should give the guy a chance to see what he got. I mean, the shot look all right to me. And it's moving, like it's not, you know what I mean? Like he's shooting lefty, he's showing off. But it is what it is. Like this is just a standard shot. I mean, it looks like nothing with no defense.
He's definitely a two-handed shooter. So he showed that he can use the left and the right hand. I mean, me personally, I think the Knicks already know that Mitchell Robinson will be ready. In my opinion, I think the Knicks already knew if Mitch wasn't going to be ready for the beginning of the season, or at least not prepared to be on the court by at least the third or the fourth game of the regular season, that they would have already acquired a center. In my opinion, I think that's this front office moving silent so quick, man. They don't let nothing leak out real good, man. And like you were saying earlier on, the guy that we mentioned, Double A, that guy, Jericho Sims, he may be in the mix. We may start the season off with Jericho Sims to see how good he is and make a trade for Richards from the Hornets. There's so many things that the Knicks could do that we all talk about, that the Knicks already have talked about and already have a plan 1, a plan 2, a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. So and he looks good. I think this could be a good year for him. You know what I mean? And he plays good on the court with the team. I was looking at I forgot the exact numbers of what they call it, analytics. The analytics with him on the court, the Knicks play well offensively and defensively. You know, he doesn't get many minutes. The minutes that he puts on the court, it makes it a small fraction of what it is. But I can see Jericho Sims and Precious Achiuwa controlling the backcourt in that second unit.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I just wanted to say, when you look at this video, who do you think this video is for? I mean, yes, it's promoting archetype or whatever they got going on. Who What do you think? Do you think the video's for the Knicks fans, or you think that video might be for somebody else looking at Jericho Sims, improvement? I think the Knicks is trying to give Jericho a shot, but I think they also want to build Jericho up to use him to go get somebody else if they need to. Like, right now he's kind of a one-dimensional type player that hasn't really excelled at anything. But if they can start building up his value, he's a much more attractive trade piece with his youth and his athleticism. Team Man NYC 84 says, salute to you. He says, with Jericho, it takes a little bit more time getting in the mix, having an introvert personality. That we know. That's true. That's always been something that's followed him, and it will follow him. Shout out to L. Show support to the show and the panel. Share the live if y'all haven't done. So people who may be tuned in on X, please share the live, because I know you can't hit that like button over here on YouTube. We would appreciate that. Thank you, L. My guy Divine in the building, the other half of Knicks Real Talk. Salute, my brother.
Sir.
Appreciate you. Yes, salute to the panel. Salute to the chat. Ron, what's good? Appreciate you. Jimmy Henry's in the building. Salute. Says Sims reminds me of Ben Wallace when he was in Orlando, who manifested into a champ and a Hall of Famer. I mean, listen,
fine.
I'm a little curious. That is nice. What is this?
Oh, excuse me.
I got you,
yeah.
Corey. I'm gonna mute you. Yeah, see, he's probably watching what's going on here. I don't know. This is still Knicks fans, baby. We here. Okay, or whatever. Anyway, Herman Hurtado in the building said non-center in NBA having legs movement as the Sims do. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really, I get you. Bodega Wi-Fi. Some fans wanted to trade Mitch to get Bridges. That's true. Okay, so let me get to you guys. Guys been waiting. Nice. Let's start with you. What's your thoughts on this center situation, and how do you feel about what's going on in this news that now, maybe Mitch has a little bit behind schedule?
Double A said it best, man. It comes to the point that I love what the Knicks organization is doing. At the end of the day, it's like they playing chess. There's certain things that is so obvious that as a fan, we could only speculate, but at the same time, we right now on full throttle. We pretty much have everything. Like I always wanted Mikal Bridges, and I even said, like, I understand that people be saying, oh, it's five what is it, 5 first round guys. We in the move right now. We don't have no more time, because I kept on saying since day one, what are we going to do with those 5 picks? We got Brunson, we got Julius Randle. There's no guarantee that neither one of them two is going to stay. Now that Jalen Brunson's signed, that's a plus. But at the same time, it's very hard to assess, let's say at the middle of the season, if the only center after Mitchell Robinson is Sims. We needed his what's his name? Scap or whatever his name is. We needed any hey, we try to make all the moves. There's no other center. Worst case scenario, let's stick with Cap. Because at the end of the day, it comes to a point that you may think one thing, but once they're on the floor, they might show you something else. And from there, you have a better understanding who you're going to trade and who you're going to stay with. It could be Cap, it could be Mitchell Robinson, it could be Sims. But having Mitchell Robinson right now is coming to the point that I know that there's a lot of fan base that love Mitchell Robinson, but it's very hard, man. Nobody is arguing his talent. Bro is talented, but he's never available. He's always hurt. Now it's like you have a deep squad as a Knicks organization, but now you have a problem with the Knicks center. And now it's like, out of nowhere, Mitchell Robinson may not even play. Come on. It's like, bro, we in full throttle. We don't got no time to play right now. We don't got, next 2 or 3 years says it all. We gotta play the part. If you're not ready, we love you, Mitch. It has nothing to do with you personal, but it's just one of those. Like look at Celtics. Celtics, they love their center. What's his name, Williams, and they come to the point that they needed to trade him. It's not about his talent. Everybody loved his talent, but his availability, he's never there.
That's true. That's fair. Fritz, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, you I mean, you not only have you been following everything, you also know the options and stuff that's been out there. I saw you mention something in the chat about your 7. What's your thoughts on this Cinder situation?
I think after the Mikal Bridges trade, they have limited like assets. So we're not in a situation where we can take a swing and then if it don't work out, we'll take a swing again. So we have limited options. They're gonna have to make some options from within. So take Sims, put him in a position where he looks better, and you take what we have on the roster, make them assets. I know the brother said Omar, you're at 7. I don't think he's the last roster spot. The Knicks need an asset. They need something they could trade later. I think is someone like Landry Shamet. You don't necessarily need him, but if you traded him, he's worth something. You know what I mean? So I think the Knicks are just gonna take their time. It's not a sprint. As long as at the end of the day, the roster works out. It doesn't necessarily have to be there day one.
Can I say something
Go ahead.
real quick?
You go nice.
Yeah, real quick. Look, guys, we all are Knicks fans. I understand we love our players, and what I mean by that ain't no weird stuff. It's like we love to represent our team. We love it, but it comes to the point, guys. We need to separate from players. Nobody ever thought that Hartenstein was a value to the type of money that he ended up getting paid. Nobody. It just came to a point that, hey, I just turned on the TV and I started seeing Hartenstein playing for the Knicks. Oh, he's playing for us. Okay, that's cool. Look what he did. But at the same time, we need to have a good roster. Hey, we never thought that this player could do it. We never thought that this player could do it. Those are the best available option. Get the best. Get the most you can. And at least now with 3 or 4 different players, now you have a better time to assess. We don't have no time to assess. December is going to be around the corner, and Mr. Robinson can't even play.
And what I wanted to say nice is, look, hit my man, Fritz, you said we don't have no assets to trade. No, we don't have assets to trade if we want to hold on to certain players, okay? We traded for Mikal Bridges, which means the guy that was playing our starting shooting guard spot is no longer our starting shooting guard, right? You could trade him, right? He's tradable. He doesn't have a non-trade clause, right? But you don't want to trade Dante. I understand. Well, what I'm saying is don't say we don't have nothing to trade. Just say we don't want to trade certain players. And you're talking about this Jersey. He ain't garbage, man. He ain't even a 15 man. He played, and he played well last year. He played well for the Jazz. The guy can play. He's a baller, okay? And he's a center. And he's worth something right now because that's what we need, right? And all we have to do is sign him to a mid-level extension. I'm behind Jericho Sims. I've been saying all along Jericho Sims needed a shot. He needed a shot. But, fellas, we're going for a championship, man. This ain't school. We're going for a championship. And if you're going for a championship, okay, we solid at power forward. We're solid at shooting guard. What are we going to do? Go cheap at center?
I'm not opposed to anything. I'm just telling you, I think the Knicks want to see what they got. I've always been the whole proponent of the Knicks have showed me that their patience is not just because they don't want to make a trade, they don't want to make a move. I think the Knicks legitimately want to see what they got. They want to see what it is. Because remember, not for nothing, Julius Randle's coming back. We already talked about in previous shows, there's somebody in the Knicks organization that is concerned about the fit with Julius Randle and this roster. I don't necessarily agree with it because I think it was working before. But if they have their reasons, that tells me someone wants to see at least, if it can work or doesn't feel it can work. So someone on the other end is like, well, we got to check it out. We got to see if it can work. Also, you're going to have to pay Julius Randle a lot of money, right? So I just think now that you added Mikal Bridges, I think the Knicks want to also be able to see how their starting lineup looks out there, how their bench looks out there, see if guys gel. Because in order to just trade somebody, you want to make it easier on yourself. It becomes a lot easier if you start throwing guys out there. Man, you know what? I noticed the rotations with this, and Dante's not doing this, or he's not getting to the spots. Now that he's not getting this many minutes or not playing off of Jalen Brunson all the time, he just doesn't look the same. You know what I mean? You won't know that until you got to play it out and see what we got. It makes it easier to say, okay, we have to give up Deuce, but no, they want something else as well. It's easier to say, all right, maybe we can do this. But without knowing, you'd wind up trading Dante DiVincenzo. You bring in a backup center. Anything could happen. What was Indiana's deficiency all season? Everybody knows it. What was it? Defense. And yet they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. This is what I'm trying to say. Every team's going to have something they got to address. Deject in the building. So imagine if we allowed the team to actually play before assessing what's going to happen. I know, right? We don't need to trade or do anything until we see what we have by December. I think that's fair. I think it's fair. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Appreciate you. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, support the pod and salute to the family. I got Jericho Sims healthy to be this year's Deuce surprise guy. His athleticism with those wings is this.
Wow.
Perfect. Okay, so that's that. Then Paris says, thank you for the generous super chat once again, Paris. He says, how you play in season will reflect in your playoffs. Facts. I mean, you obviously have to build up a winning rapport. You got to build up chemistry. But the point is, it's 82 game season. A lot can happen. There it is. It's big on your screen. You guys can see that. Nah, I'm just joking. I just put this together just to show it as is, but we're gonna take a look at it in a better light because I can't see anything on this. What the hell is this? That's it, y'all. It just looks pretty. You know what I mean? It looks pretty, but that don't do nothing for me. So this is the schedule, y'all, and as y'all can see, opening night we got Boston, then we get Indiana. Then we get Cleveland. Then we get Miami. I mean, how you come out the gate with these four? I don't know what's going on here, but all right. Then you get Detroit. Then you get Houston. Then Atlanta. Then Milwaukee. Then Indiana. And then Philadelphia. And I want to stop there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. First 10 games of the season, y'all. Boston, Indiana, Cleveland, Miami, Detroit, Houston, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Indiana, Philadelphia. That's not a great first 10 games. You know, that's interesting. And that matters because Indiana's twice in the first 10 and the Knicks can't take these games lightly. That's 2 times against Eastern Conference rival. So this is important to at least win one of these games. Even though it's the beginning of the season. But anyway, let me just get you guys real quick record. What's your thoughts? First 10, Sha, what's your thoughts in the first 10?
10-0.
Damn. What? I like it.
I think we're gonna make a statement. I don't care who starts. We got so much depth, and I'm gonna reiterate this thing for the whole season. The acquisition of Mikal Bridges with OG Anunoby at the 2 wing positions are going to be phenomenal for the Knicks. And Julius Randle game will change a little bit. I don't see Julius Randle being that 25-point guy with 12 rebounds and 5 assists. I see him being more of a 21, 22-point guy with about 12 rebounds. But where he is going to really prosper is his assists. I believe he's going to be a triple-double threat every game that he's out there with the team that he has on the court. He draws double teams. And the 2 guys that you're going to kick the ball out to are both about 37 plus from 3-point land. OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges. And it also makes Brunson a deadly shooter too, which he is over 37% as well. So with those 3 guys on the court, with Julius Randle on the court, I'm hoping, my hopes are that we upset Boston. We beat We punched the Pacers right in the mouth. Cleveland haven't had much for us in the last couple of years. Miami is always a team that everybody wants to talk about, but they got a little older this year, and they didn't do much, much help to their roster this year. Detroit is a young team that's trying to come from the bottom. Houston is an upcoming team too that added some key pieces this year, which is going to be a really good game for us. Atlanta didn't do much but let go of Murray. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's going to lessen their team. And Milwaukee is the only game that I'm actually kind of, want to see what happens. But they're an older team now this year. They're Ellen. I'm not even sure if they're going to bring back Lopez or if Lopez is already signed. I haven't really looked into their thing, but their team is an older team. They guys are statesmen, veteran. That's a veteran style team with older guys on the team. You know what I mean? Not built for longevity for our 82 game season. And once again, the Pacers again, I think every time we get to the Pacers, we're going to beat the crap out of them just to show them that they got lucky that we wasn't healthy enough to in the playoffs.
Okay. So 10-0. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going all the way to this stream. I want to say 8, but I'm going to say 10. I think the two games that we got to watch out for is the Milwaukee game and one of the Pacers games. I think one of the Pacers games and the Milwaukee game we have to watch out for. But aside from that, I think everybody else, I think we're going to have a fun time with.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Amen. Listen, you're from your lips to God's ears. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my guy, Uncle Freezy, Blow Orange Tears in the building. Salute my brother. Appreciate you. Shout out to Prezi the boss in the building. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. D Block says Yankees all day. Okay, D Block. I still think you're a good person, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody, man. Thank you for tuning in. Kevin Middleton in the building. What up, Kevin? Okay, so let me get to. I'm gonna skip. Let me get to double A. Double A 0-10.
Shit. No, bro. Put it like this, bro. If we don't have a starting center, you can count that L for Boston. Indiana, okay. I don't care about. Cleveland has 2 7-footers, so we're gonna probably have an issue there. Miami, who knows? Houston gonna have a Houston will have a problem because they have that center. He's really offensive talented. Atlanta, don't forget they had the number 1 pick in the draft. Milwaukee, they still got the Greek Freak, and they got Lillard. Here we got the Pacers again, and then we got Philadelphia with Embiid. So I don't know. You're telling me Mitch will be back? I ain't got no sweat at all. But if you're telling me Jericho Sims is going to be our center against this team, I don't know what our record could be.
I hear you.
That's just being truthful. I just don't.
That's a fair point. No, I rock with you on that. I understand. I mean, I'm not really worried about Cleveland and their bigs, but if Mitch ain't there, because this is the 3rd game of the season, if Mitch is not there, then it looks a little different. So I hear you. I understand what you're saying. I got you. Okay.
And,
all right.
And Philly signed Drummond, so they got a pretty good center combination there, man. I mean, that's a lot of work. You got to deal with Embiid and then Drummond. That's going to be a lot of Drummond is a rebounding monster.
That's not a lie. That is fair. That would be an issue to start the season if the Knicks don't have Mitch. If it goes that far, because that's November 12th. I mean, I would think Mitch would be back by then. But if he wasn't there, I could see that being a little bit of an issue because there'll be nobody out there to stop Embiid, and he'll be creating havoc on that mid-range area to the 3-point area, and then down low, Drummond is an incredible rebounder. He will grab all. Yeah, that could be tough. I could see that being tough. But we got to see. Because they got to keep up with us on the other end, and Drummond is kind of washed on the defensive side, but he's still a very strong rebounder. That's fair. All right, so let me get over to Corey and then Fritz. Corey, what's your thoughts on the first 10?
Yeah, I'm rocking with my man. Yeah, 10-0.
I like his
I feel
optimism.
like, listen, man. First of all, I jumped out the window saying that we're gonna win 62 games this season.
Okay, that's fair.
So 10-0 should be not. It's a laughing point. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like going like outside of my mind, and this is outside of my mind. But 14 straight victories. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I take it. It's like the song, "Be That As It May." You know what I'm saying? I take it as it comes. You know.
Uh-oh. Something your mic cut out. I can't hear you. Oh,
But
that's why you get a phone call.
well, like I said, it be that as it may. I take it as the wins and losses come. I believe in my team. So the losses and stuff like that, I'm thinking we can if I could, I would say 82-0, but you know what I'm saying? I'm no fool. I'm no fool. Oh, I'm no fool. But
Okay.
but you know what I'm saying? And I know I've been sipping over here while I've been watching. But with that said though, outside of that, I think, I believe we got a 62-win season. I've been on the 60 band for the last 3 years. That's something that I feel like is very much achievable. And I just trust. I trust the front office, and I trust Tom Thibodeau. Hit a home run.
All right. That works. I
Hey,
take
Ron,
that.
Ron, did you see Freezy was trying to get the link from you?
Yeah, I put it out there.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if you saw it.
I don't know if you've
yeah.
seen that one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, I would love to hear. I would love to hear his debate.
Hey,
So let's get over to Fritz. Fritz, what's your thoughts, man? First 10?
I could live with 6-4. I would like 7-3. I think some fans a little pretty confident. Especially those 2 Indiana games. I know a lot of people are overlooking Indiana, but you have to think of what Indiana is when they're healthy, with Mathurin back, and Halliburton was MVP candidate until his back started acting up last year. So you have to think of what he will be back healthy, and with Mathurin back. I think those are 2 tough games. So I'm gonna go with 6-4, 7-3, hopefully, but 6-4, I'll be okay with.
That's a scary thought.
I just think that the NBA schedulers just wanted drama early. They just want to drop. They threw everything at us in those first 10.
They did that last season, though, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They did that last season. They threw everything at us. If y'all not noticed, the last 2 seasons, we did not come out the door. You know what I'm saying? With a I hate to do this, Ron. With a punk ass schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we have not.
It's fair. The Knicks, the schedule makers have definitely been testing the Knicks, and last year with the whole in-season tournament, the Knicks had to play Boston 5 times and Milwaukee 5 times. So yeah, it is what it is. I hear you. I don't care. I mean, I hope at some point. That's my point. I hope Knicks fans feel the same way. At some point, it doesn't matter anymore. The Knicks are a good team. Okay, whoever they got to play people, right? Who cares? It don't matter. But back then, when we were still trying to build, then you were like, "Oh man, we're gonna get this is an L, this is an L, this is." I'm not with all the L's anymore. Now, my take at this? I think I always feel this way. Boston is the first game of the season. It's their ring ceremony. They're going to be emotional. I think we could get them. I think we can get
Oh,
him. So
we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him, son. No disrespect, bro. We're gonna put them in their mouth so hard they'll be like, "Oh, fish."
We need to. We lost to them last year, first opening night.
right.
You know what I mean?
Bim.
14 free throws killed us.
Yep. But we don't have Fournier, so I'm not. All right. Okay. Anyway, all right. So I think that's a win. Indiana, that first game, I think that's a win. But I like. Okay, this is what I want to say. I don't want to say that. What I want to say is I think we're gonna split with Indiana. Okay, because that first game is actually in Indiana, so they might get that one. You know, it's a possibility. Then we got Cleveland. I think we beat Cleveland. Then we got Miami. It's early in the season. Jimmy Butler's not in his playoff Jimmy form. I think we could beat Miami. Then Detroit, I think that's a win. Then we got Houston, who's a new approved team. You got to watch Houston. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. That you guys might be laughing, but I think the Houston one could be a loss.
No, I don't play with them. I don't play with them because they got a lot of young talent. They got a lot of young talent.
Yeah, so I think the Houston one could be a loss. I think Atlanta's a win. I think Milwaukee's still trying to find themselves. That could be a win. And I think Indiana is a win. And then Philadelphia is a toss-up. But for the sake of being objective, I'll say that's a loss. So I go 7-3 for the first 10. That's my thoughts. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But then, you know, and remember, there's an 82-game season, and 7-3 out of your first 10 with that type of schedule is not bad at all. And it's great test. Like, that gets you right for the next ones, because then after that, you play Brooklyn back-to-back. Those both should be W's. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go through the whole, but you get my point. Brooklyn back-to-back, then Washington, then a crazy, weird Phoenix team with, I don't know what Phoenix is. So, you know, I just think that there's a chance for the Knicks to come out the gate in a really nice position. So I'm just gonna breeze through because I got to get out of here. But I wasn't gonna do too much with this anyway. Now I'm just gonna look through the schedule. I'll scroll down, and I'm gonna take y'all off the screen just so hopefully people can see the schedule a little better. I just want to see if there's anything crazy that we got to look at. That that's gonna be a run that the Knicks got to be prepared for. Let's scroll down and see what we got going on. Some of y'all. It's usually around that time. I know you already looked at this. This is my first time looking, so let's see. All right, so then we got why is it not scrolling? There we go. It's too slow. I gotta hit the side. All right, well, okay, so Boston, Indiana, Brooklyn, Washington, Phoenix, Utah, Denver, Dallas, Charlotte, New Orleans, Orlando, Charlotte, Detroit. Those are winnable games all mixed in there. Toronto, Minnesota comes, okay. Then New Orleans, then Toronto, San Antonio. That should be the Christmas game, right? Then Orlando, Washington. Those are the type of teams that this Knicks team should beat up on. The Washingtons, the Detroits. The Knicks are good enough. They should never lose to these teams. You know, I want the Knicks to be that team. You know how back in the day when the Knicks they played somebody and just couldn't they're like, oh, we haven't beat them in like 16 years. You know, I want that. When the Knicks play teams like Washington and Detroit, don't lose. And then Utah, Oklahoma City, Chicago, Orlando, Toronto, Oklahoma City again within 3 games of each other, like 4 games, basically. Huh, okay. Then Milwaukee, Detroit, Philly, Minnesota, Brooklyn, Sacramento, Memphis, Denver, Los Angeles, Houston, Toronto, Boston. Okay, now we're getting in a run going on here. All right. So that little stretch right there is there's a lot going on in between these 2 Oklahoma City games starting in January, a little taste of what they got going on. Then you get Milwaukee, who could be a better team by then Philly, then Minnesota, and then you get a little bit of a break with Atlanta and Brooklyn, then Sacramento, Memphis, Denver, Lakers, Houston, Toronto, Boston, Indiana. That's a nice stretch. All right, okay. Then, Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland. Then we get Boston again, then Philadelphia right after Boston, and Memphis, then Miami, then Golden State, then Los Angeles, then the Clippers, then Sacramento. That's another little run there that's going to be a test. I don't want to say Portland is a test, but who knows? Maybe Portland finally gets it together and becomes a better team this year. I don't know. Then Golden State, Miami, San Antonio. That's another little 3-game stretch that could be interesting for the Knicks. Then Charlotte, Washington, Dallas, the Clippers, Milwaukee, Portland, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Atlanta, Phoenix, Boston. Knicks got a nice schedule of teams. So, yeah, but like I said, once again, the Knicks are a good team, and I'm not worried about them. I think they straight. I think they are straight. So, yeah. It is what it is, man. But I want to thank everybody that has been here rocking. I just want to get some final words on how y'all feel about the schedule overall. Are you concerned at all? And then we move on from there. Fritz, your thoughts on the schedule now that you had a chance to really look at it? I'm sure you looked at it prior to this.
I think the Knicks got a lot of national TV on their side.
Yes, they do.
And
I think it's 32 or 34 games. Yeah,
34. And
34.
if you look at how many times they got you on TV, is how much they think of us.
Right.
Boston's on there 36 times. New York and Philly are on there 34 times. I think people in the NBA know that we're going to be good, and I think we're going to have a good time. I think within the NBA as an organization, they know what the Knicks got.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think that the Knicks look like and then 34 games national televised is the 4th most in the NBA. So, yeah, I think that's saying a lot, brother. That's saying a lot. Shout out to the Organic. No, I was going to say shout out to Organic Fanatics show. Appreciate you, man. Always good to see you. Que lo que, my guy. Please support the Organic Fanatics podcast on YouTube. Show them some love, man. All right, go ahead, Shah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen about 10 or 11 back-to-back games for this season, which is not as much as we had last year. They're a little bit more spaced out. And after the back-to-back, there's games to rest. I noticed. Like, we have a back-to-back, and then we'll be off 2 games, and then we'll be off. If we're playing 2 away games on the Midwest or whatever, then we get a day off to get back home to reacclimate ourselves, and then play another game. So it looks a little. I don't want to say easier because there's a lot of good teams that we're playing this year because we're on TV that much more this year, But I think the Knicks are going to be battle tested and they battle ready. So I'm waiting to see how I'm super hopeful for this team. I did say 10-0, which I don't think I think it's more like 8. I think we'll lose one of the Pacer games. I think the Milwaukee game may be a game that we have to watch out for. Also, I did say about the Rockets game is going to be something because they got the new young nucleus and all these other El DeBarge over there and all this other stuff that they got over there. So they really going to really emphasize a lot of wanting to win. But I think the Knicks are going to be ready. With Mitchell Robinson, I think we'll be stronger. I don't think that, and I'm going to say this again, I don't think the Knicks didn't pick up a center knowing that Mitchell Robinson could be out until December. And I mean, that's what I'm going to say. I don't think they were just filled in Precious Achua thinking that Mitch is not going to be back to December 12th. I don't know if that's a game on that night or not, but if this ain't around December 12th, I don't think the front office would have did that. I think they would have made, even if it would have been a minor move. And then again, I think they're probably going to stick Scat back into the G League over there. He's not going to be on a 2-way contract, but he's been playing with the Knicks for the last couple of years. They may stash him over there. We got an up and coming Hulk Party. So we got some help just in case if we, something to switch to real quick. Might not be what we need to see, but something that that can fill in the space. And who knows once these guys get on the court with the other regular your starting unit, how good they can play.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I agree. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay, guys. I think there's always going to be some question marks. No Knicks season is going to be perfect. There's always going to be some adversity.
Yeah, 82
and let me tell you something. Even if the Knicks were able to go trade for a backup center right now, there's going to be some type of adversity that happens for the Knicks. It just is what it is. Something's always going to happen. How do the Knicks address it? How do the Knicks, come out from under it? How can they show that they have that same, that same drive, that will, determination to get things done? They showed a lot of it last year with all the injuries and getting into the second round, getting deep into the second round until it was just too much. At a certain point, it's just too much. But yeah, so I definitely think we're going to be okay.
You remember when we was at the morning brew thing in Manhattan, and I leaned over to you and said, "You see how Tibbs like running this small lineup? He likes the small unit. Mm-hmm. He did it a lot last year. That small unit, everyone talks about, oh, Tibbs is not going to do the small unit. He's not going to. He did it a lot last year, and that was before everybody got hurt. Before everybody really started getting the injury bug. So that's another thing to just throw out there as well.
Yeah, I don't think. And shout out to Alan Hahn, because I always point to it. I think Tibbs does like using small lineups when he needs to. Tibbs may not like Precious at the center. Tibbs may not like using Julius at the center. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to use small lineups. He just doesn't like those particular options all the time, because we've seen he went super small. With what he was doing. So it's not like he won't do it. It's just he doesn't necessarily love, the other side of it. But, we'll see what happens, man. He may be forced to do it with Mitch and even forced to do it if Mitch is healthy, because coming from the bench area, he may not have a lot of faith in Huck Porty or Sims or Precious. He may have to do some really interesting, weird stuff. He might put, well, I'm not saying he will, but you never know. He might put OG at the center spot just as a body, put Josh at the 4, McCall at the 3, and you never know. Like, I can see Tibbs doing all types of wild stuff just to see what advantages and mismatches he could create. Could the Knicks get swallowed up on the other end? Maybe, but it depends on what team you do. He ain't going to do it against Philadelphia. He's going to do it against a team that he thinks he can get away with it against.
Right.
So. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I just want to say shout out to Darren Hood. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. I know, just about to wrap up the show, but, Replay Gang is here. So please tune in, man. The conversation turned into a very good one. And I think it's one of those that the Knick community needs. Shout out to Double A for bringing a different perspective on it. The point is, there's Knick fans that feel differently about the team, and he's not wrong in the way he feels, but we all have to be able to have the dialogue, have the conversation about, listen, there's a right to be concerned, but then there's also light at the end of the tunnel. We've seen stuff like this happen with other teams. We've seen stuff happen with the Knicks. It doesn't mean that they can't be a successful team that can still carry on throughout the regular season until we get to a point where they can make that move, where they feel comfortable enough that, not only do we want to make the move, but we know who we want to throw in order to facilitate the move. It's just not, the last thing the Knicks fans want to see is the team make a move and get rid of somebody. And you're like, damn it, why did they do that? See, you can't, one thing you could say, you can't say that about the moves that the Knicks have currently made in the last few years. There's no player that they got rid of that you're like, oh, the Knicks messed up here. You can say what you want about Obi Toppin. You can't say that, oh, the Knicks messed up here. I mean, he might turn into something special, but he wasn't going to do it here anyway behind Julius. RJ Barrett hasn't taken the next step as of yet. He's still RJ Barrett. And maybe, this year will be another coming out party for him. Hasn't done it yet. We saw some flashes from Emmanuel quickly, but not enough to say, oh, the Knicks dropped the bag on that one, because we know who the Knicks wound up getting. And OG Anunoby, the numbers don't lie. He's looked great with the Knicks. When he's healthy, he looks fantastic. Okay, it is what it is. So right now, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to wake up one day and the Knicks went out and they got themselves Nick Richards and they gave up Dante DiVincenzo in the process. You're like, oh my God, you don't want to see it. So let the Knicks cook and make sure they make the right move if they decide to do whatever they're going to do. and do their due diligence before they make the wrong move. And we're like, this is the one that might come back to bite them. You know what I mean? They've been fortunate. So let me just get final words. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in today. Those on YouTube, those on X. Please smash that like button if you're here on YouTube and haven't done so. Please subscribe if you haven't already and you like the content and enjoy the show. But I want to shout out everybody. Shout out to Corey Lee. Corey Lee got kicked out of his establishment. He's been sitting there for a while, so probably other people want to sit in this spot and be patrons. So he said he got kicked out. Shout out to you, Corey. Shout out to my guy Double A once again. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Nice who joined us. Thank you for being here. And also I want to just say thank you to Fritz and Shah. But Fritz, any final words, my brother?
No, just looking forward to the season. Still intrigued with that last little move is going to be. But the season's going to start fast. It's going to start fast, and it's going to be drama early. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's going to be this is one of the years, like, for years you were a Knicks fan and people, they looked at you kind of crazy. And then now it's like everybody going to be, you might see some people saying they were always Knicks fans that you ain't seen. So
it's about to happen, brother. I can't wait till all these fake Brooklyn fans I love the Knicks. I can't wait. It's happening. Don't worry, it's happening. Appreciate you once again, Fritz. Thanks for joining me. Like I said, it's dope to have you up here. Finally got to chop it up on this show, so appreciate you, my brother. And I am definitely supporting and tuning in to your show. And when does it come on? And when the name for everybody once again?
It's an NBA economy show. It's more of the business side. More than like the play side. I can just for this summer it's coming on whenever news happens. Right now it's primarily a Knicks show, but I want to expand it to the whole league. But yeah,
dope. Okay, yeah. Dope. So please check that out, guys. NBA economy
show.
Got it. NBA economy show, guys. So if y'all haven't checked it out and seen it, like I said, it's great to have a show like that because, I'll be honest, I get a little busy, I get caught up and I don't have a lot of time to invest in looking into the CBA or looking into the numbers of how to make these moves happen or what type of position the current basketball team is in. And so when you guys ask me these questions, I'm like, I don't got the answer either because I haven't had a chance to really look into it. It's nice to have Fritz, who is taking the time to look at this stuff, to have that as a platform for us to tune into is pretty dope. So please show him some love and support, all of his endeavors. I tell you, if you guys don't know about Fritz, not only he's a great contributor to other people's shows like Lawrence Tears, Uncle Freezy, and as you can see him here chopping it up with me and other shows he might have chopped it up with. But let's not forget Fritz's value and on one of the best shows that helped me get into the podcast game because I loved watching it, which is the Nick of Time show with my guy Jay Ellis.
Right.
And Fritz has always been a big part of that show. You used to call in and be in the Discord and Fritz will pick up the line and be like, hey, what's going on? Wait, you know what I mean? So I appreciate Fritz, bro. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you all the time, brother. And this is the link for the NBA economy show. So here it is, y'all. And please check it out. Subscribe and show Fritz some love. Believe me, you won't regret it. Shah, final words, my brother.
I want to thank you, Ron, for having me on. Fritz, thank you for being on. First time that I've been on with you, and I always, like I said, what Ron just said about, I noticed you from KOT. I watch Nigga Time with Jay Ellis and all of them over there and stuff. Great content over there, and that's where I really caught you from. So I'm glad to be on with you to share the time with you and your knowledge of the finance side of New York Knicks basketball. And with that being said, salute to the family in the chat, and hashtag 82-0 this year. Let's get it.
Thanks a lot, bro.
That works, Sha. Okay. Please support and go show love to Knicks Real Talk. You know how they give it up. I don't got to say much. Y'all already familiar, man. But show them some love, my guys Sha and Divine, and understand that when the season starts, they're gonna get you right before every game. Put us in the right headspace. Get that positive vibe. We're gonna be ready for war. We're gonna be ready for war. Yeah, man. So I just want to thank everybody once again. Thank you for tuning in. The conversation was good today, and it's one of those days where I wish I didn't have to go, but I do have to go. I got to get over to the movies. Got to see this Deadpool Wolverine joint. See what's really popping off. Yeah, man. Thank you guys once again. Please continue to support. And like I always say, guys, we've seen enough with this Knicks team. There's valid points, there's valid worries, but just don't panic. You can be worried, just don't panic. There's concern. You know, there's something we got to look at. We got to monitor closely. You know how that works? Like, yeah, I mean, we're not really concerned about it, but we do have to monitor it closely. That's the talk speak. Yeah. We'll take a look at it. So don't worry about it, guys. I think the Knicks are going to be okay. They have always been the underdog. They have always been a team that has to fight to show their value and their worth in this league. They're going to continue to do so. And even Jalen Brunson said it. He said, yeah, I don't want us to be looked at as front runners or championship bound. I want us to have that chip on our shoulders. He wants everybody to continue to fight. Don't let up. It ain't easy to win a chip. So, yeah, let's listen to our captain. All right, guys. Well, thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's not sunny over here in New York, but it's still nice. So make the best of it if you're out there.
Well, it was just raining a little bit.
Oh, damn. Well,
at least I hear in Shaolin Island over here. I heard it.
Yeah, we can't win them all. Nah, if it's raining over there, it's probably raining over here. So, but all right, y'all, take it easy. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned. We still on Monday nights. We haven't switched as of yet, and we may not switch. But so stay tuned for SKF Weekly on Monday. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans. We'll be back in, whether it be on Saturdays for Know the Ledge at 11:30-ish. Mondays for SKF Weekly at 9 p.m. with my brother John and my brother Jose on the ones and twos. In September, he'll be back with us. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming. We'll be back to our regular program that we use, because right now we're using StreamYard for everything. But on Mondays, we're going to get back to our other situation. And we'll see whether we stay Mondays or not, if we switch up. But in the meantime, also this Wednesday, 9:30, I'll be on with the Objective Knicks fan. We're going to talk about them old Knicks, them Patrick Ewing Knicks, and why wasn't he able to win a championship? Was it on Patrick? Was it on the front office? Was it on Pat? Who knows? We're going to talk about it. So tune in. It should be an interesting conversation, especially during this time, because you know what? Our Knicks are trying to win a championship now, and it ain't that easy. Let's see if any of what happened with Patrick correlates to what's going on right now. How can we avoid those pitfalls? Anyway, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Laters.
Later.
Words.